Cool. There we go. Is that
No, no, no. Stay tight.
AJ? Tell us about the significance of this weekend and what drew you here. Why you came.
A lot of reasons. Number one, I'm a carny. Born and raised on a carnival. My dad had those 3 bottles he knocked over with the baseball, and we were hit by a tornado in 1963 and knocked over the Ferris wheel, moved the tilt-a-whirl about a half a block, and the only thing left standing were my old man's 3 bottles, which will tell you everything you need to know about this business. I'm a carny brat. My best friend, Honest John Reynolds, run a 10-1, and I knew most of these people. I knew everybody on the Midway, Zambura, the Gorilla, Lady to Gorilla, the Electrical Lady, the Headless Lady. These were friends of mine. So Todd Robbins and I have that in common. We've been friends forever. And I'm right now in the middle of writing my life story of 9 years, and I'm putting it into 1 year on Midway, and it's called Carnival Knowledge. I'm functionally illiterate, and I've lived my life like that. I put a book out called The Golden Rule of Schmoozing, which my wife put on hard copy and I put on tape, which I'm doing to this book right now. So this week was about coming and doing some work of seeing and talking and cutting up jackpots with guys like Ward, who are old friends, who was on my old man show. And it's helping me put my book together. My book is 85% actual happening. It is 15% of something I'm making up for a plot. I start the book by saying everything, 100% of this book is false. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And probably the reason I'm heavy into it right now is because one of the main characters, Honest John Reynolds, unfortunately died 2 months ago. And now I can tell a story that, because I didn't want a legal or anybody getting arrested for, I can bring a story to light that I first felt bad about. Just to give you a slight touch of it, I was at a very young age, right about 12, along when a human being was purchased from a sanitarium. And the interesting thing about it was, I felt bad when I saw money exchange hands for him, but within a short month, his life was the best it ever could have been. He was senseless, but everybody loved him. If a blowdown was coming, ridemen would come running to see if he was okay. No one ever did that for me. And now his life was full of going down the road, watching a neon city go up and down, being part of a family, watching popcorn sacks and tire tracks trace his life. And he also was buried at the time that he was lifted with a death certificate and probably a casket full of rocks. And he didn't have a death certificate and couldn't be buried anywhere. And I would watch him be sold with his truck and his banner 3 times, and in the end, he came back to us one more time.
Did you know Melvin Burkhart?
Yeah. What a
Sorry,
sweet man.
One more time. Could you tell? Did you know Melvin Burkhart?
Yeah, very well. As a matter of fact, the last time I would see him would be at Todd's wedding, where he came and Todd paid for everything for this wonderful old man, and Todd gets teary-eyed just talking about him. And he came to the wedding, and everybody knows how Todd revered Melvin. So as soon as the ceremony was done, all of Todd's real close friends, who Todd had told us a million stories about Melvin, he was surrounded by people who wanted to talk to him. He instantly, at 90-some years old, went into his act and did his blockhead and his pitch and put his hat on and did it all. And it was a shining moment, because at Todd's wedding, he was like a star. And Penn and Teller and myself, and everybody was going up, and people followed him anywhere he went, and he went home and died. That it was a last hurrah, a last go-around. So, you know, that was very special. And if you saw Todd earlier, he couldn't even get through his act. Of course, Todd couldn't get through his wedding, and he cries at card tricks, so.
Yeah, Melvin was a real revered figure. What do you think about the young people that are keeping this alive, that are creating new traditions, you know, for the artists?
I would love to see it happen again. You know, there's a famed story in New York where one of the attractions was deformed, and somebody in the audience, who also was a welfare recipient, pitched a bitch to the city, and with a lawyer, shut him down. You can't show that, you're making fun of me, which is absolute stupidity, because that person was earning a check and had a great life and was off and couldn't wait for the season to start and had friends and was on the road, and on pull-in night you would have pass a dish inside the merry-go-round tent, and it was a family, and what a wonderful place to be. And here this person on welfare pitched a bitch that they're making fun of him. It just happened again. A midget friend of mine, which I know the midgets want to be called small people, but when you're on the show and you've seen the kid I was hanging with, prefers to be called a midget, because who's not saying it? I mean, if he's in a grocery store, maybe people are saying to his face, small person, but you'll hear one of the kids say to the mom, see the midget? It ain't going away. Well, my best midget friend is Steve Vento, and he just got a character called Nacho Mama. And he was at this bar called Nacho Mama, and he dressed in a Mexican outfit, and he had a big hat with a brim, and with chips around it, and a bowl of stuff in the top. And this three-piece business suit midget came out saying, well, he's making fun of me and my type. Well, Stevie said to him, go chase yourself. I ain't making fun of nobody. I'm making a living. And if you want me to stop this, pay me. You pay me, and I'll stop this. I mean, he worked for some kind of advertising agency. Well, Stevie didn't. Stevie didn't have that kind of chance in life, and he truly made lemons into lemonade. And, you know, all the people in this business that turn around that have some birth defect or something that they can turn into dollars, God bless them. And it's educational. It really is. You know, the funny thing about that, too, is you take somebody like Lizard Man is a bad example because he did that to himself. But let's take somebody, I knew Lobster Boy, I knew Wart Man, okay? And the funny thing about him is it was just all over him, all over his arms, his face, and the whole thing. Out of politeness, if you pass them in public, you'll steal a glance and then you'll keep walking. You may turn back to steal another glance, but that's it. That's where it ends, right there. If you plop your quarter down on the line, you gawk. And why do you gawk? Do you feel better about yourself? Well, truth be told, the entire world are freaks. And you know who the really freaks are? DiCaprio, Britney Spears. They are the only freaks. Because you don't look like them, I don't look like them, nobody looks like them. They look like what they look. And then I go ahead and see a thing on NBC that people that are 6 foot and good looking have over a 80% chance of succeeding in the world. And it's true. And I know it's true. Look at 3 men here, all of you homely. So, I mean, you see what my point is proven. I'm one of you. So the freaks are really the good looking people. We just like to look at somebody a little worse than us.
Great. You all right? Was it AJ? Was it true that you were Ronald McDonald? How do you want me to say it? Or it doesn't matter.
And they're not going to hear you?
Well, my voice.
You.
I won't even say anything. You can just. Was it true you were a character for a large corporation that is known worldwide, their figurehead.
I hear that a lot, where people are accusing me of wearing big red shoes and a red wig and a red nose, and that's absolutely not true. There is only one of him. He does have red nose, and as you see, I do not. And he has red hair, and I do not. But I, at one time, was an advisor for that corporation, for that character. But as for me being him, that's a communist lie out of Hanoi.
Now, if we were to use it, yeah, look right in the camera. You can mug and do it as much as you want.
Same way.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, boys and girls. My name's AJ, and you are watching Shocked and Amazed, right out of the total golden rule of schmoozing.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm AJ, the author of the Golden Rule of Schmoozing, and you are watching Shocked and Amazed.
That's great. Thank you. I'm sorry, it's all right.
So did you enjoy today?
I had a wonderful time.
Do you think Chris will enjoy watching the film?
Oh, of course.
Will he get a whole copy of the roast to show to his partner?
No, great. That's a promise. It's a promise. Are you, this must be a special day. It's really,
This whole thing has been special.
Well, did you enjoy my reverencing?
You were so quiet and kind.
Yeah, do you think I should come out of my
and
shell?
low key.
Should I come out of my shell?
It would be all right for you to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah,
I think, yes.
yeah. Well, I'll take your advice. Any chance of me working in the 10 and 1?
Oh, hell yes, but you're going to gain a couple pounds.
You think?
Yeah, my fat man only weighs 712.
Oh, okay. I still got some to go.
Oh, you got to get rid of it. You know, the one thing that's wonderful about this, many things wonderful about it. 10 years ago, the sideshow business was in jeopardy because there were no more performers. People were all, you know, getting old, like Red here and me. We're a couple of old farts. And it's tough to go out and do 40 shows a day. And now, all of a sudden, we've got all these wonderful new performers. And of course, my performers are not here, because Old Man Hall don't let the slaves off of the plantation. And they're all working today in the show at Jackson, Tennessee. And but I'm lucky that I have a wonderful group of young people, and they all from San Francisco. And but they do the same, you know, the acts now, because now there's this interest in learning these sideshow acts. So the sideshows will survive and go on, thanks to things like this convention.